Yeah, hello. Again. Yeah, the fact that there's actually a fight on Saturday, which I had forgotten all about, and that's Sonny Edwards and Jesse Bam Bam Rodriguez. A really great matchup at flyweight, which is not a division everybody cares about, but still, these guys are really outstanding. Yeah, so this is going on in Glendale, California, I think, or was it Arizona? I'm not sure really. I think it's in California. All right. Anyway, yeah, yeah. It's Glendale in Arizona. It's a big unification world title bout. So Jesse Rodriguez he holds the WBO flyweight title, and Sonny Edwards holds the IBF title. All right, so both guys are undefeated, and Sonny has a record of 20-0 with 4 knockouts only, while Jesse Rodriguez has 18-0 with 11 knockouts. So he's a significantly harder, heavier here, Mr. Rodriguez. Yeah, actually, he used to be a super flyweight, as you know, most of you, and he scored his two biggest wins there against Carlos Cuadras and Srisaket Sorungsai, which both of those guys were hardly in their prime anymore, but still, on paper, they are his biggest wins so far. Yeah. The thing with Sonny Edwards, I watched several of his fights already. Yeah, the last one was kind of tough. I mean, not just that one, also the one against Felix Alvarado. But he's a guy with his movement and his boxing skills and all that, that's how he wins. Of course, since he's no puncher, he has to rely on that instead. That can be tough, always having to go 12 rounds or almost always. So he hasn't actually scored a stoppage, Sonny Edwards, since 2019, I believe that was, yeah, Pedro Matos. And I watched that fight too, also, actually. That was some kind of injury stoppage, as far as if I remember correctly, yeah. Uh, so, yeah. Uh, when it comes to Bam Edwards, sorry, Rodriguez, not Edwards, Bam, or just Bam. Let's see the height. I mean, Sonny is slightly shorter at 5'3", while, but the big difference is in reach because Rodriguez has wow, 7-inch reach advantage. Oh my. While he only is an inch taller. So that's another thing that makes him dangerous. This will be a hard fight for both guys, definitely. I think so. However, I don't know if how well Rodriguez will be able to solve the boxing puzzle of Edwards. Yeah, I mean. Not that Sunny is that hard to hit, but yeah, I mean, he's just got a lot of, you know, he's got also a really great engine, and throws a lot of punches, and he's good at making people miss also. So, yeah, Jesse Bam Rodriguez will have to really put on a great performance to beat him, especially to get him out of there to stop him. It will be very hard, I believe. However, since he's fighting on home turf, Rodriguez, he is from San Antonio, Texas. So yeah, anyway, he's much closer to home than Sonny, of course. Yeah, he's got certain advantages. Yeah, definitely. So he's a kind of a pressure fighter, Bam Rodriguez, with power, definitely. However, so far, the only guy, world class fighter that he stopped was Sorun Visai, who was, kind of getting on, in age and everything, had a little, little too many wars and all that, probably. And so that was a very impressive performance by Bam. But how much is it worth? I don't know really. I wouldn't put too much into it. I mean, when he knocked or stopped him, everybody was, yeah, wow, great. This guy's gonna be the new great. But I wouldn't be so quick to, call him that, until we. But this fight will be a good, indicator of just how capable Bam Rodriguez is. Because, as I said, Edwards, with his tricky style, his movement, and everything, defensive skills, is gonna be a hard nut to crack, and definitely. But since it's in USA and Southwest, like the same part where Rodriguez comes from, and yeah, I mean, let's say if Rodriguez makes Edwards fight his fight, then Edwards loses because it's down to who lands more bigger punches, of course. So Edwards cannot compete with there. However, if Edwards kind of makes starts dictating his own tempo, and if he if he adapts to Bam's game, then he can win definitely. Yeah, why not? But I expect a really big, I mean, close, tough fight here. And unfortunately, Edwards, knowing what has been happening the last few years with the judging, in America, there's been some atrocious scorecards for hometown fighters, but I mean, hometown scorecards, very biased, so he can easily find himself even, on the wrong end, even if he does win more rounds, Edwards. And judges or they seem to prefer what I heard now from a reliable source is that judges now give fights to the fighter who threw, not who landed most punches actually, but who threw the most punches and who landed the biggest punch actually in that round. So you can win the like 2 minutes and I don't know 50 seconds of a round, but if you get hit in the last 10 seconds with a big punch, you lose the round. Now, is that fair? Hardly. I don't think so. I don't think it's fair, but that's how they do it now, So that explains some really, I mean, bad bad scorecards that we have seen lately, in already like last 7 years, perhaps 7 8 years. So everything points to the likelihood of Bam Rodriguez being the winner, and Sonny will indeed have to really labor to get this victory. But of course, if he manages to outbox Rodriguez enough and makes him fight his own fight, or just fights his own and adapts well enough to Rodriguez's style, of course he wins. He's a really talented kid, and I think he's very important to the English and British boxing fans, as Now, one of their few flyweight champions and all that. I mean, yeah. And, you know, a champion who is actually, just English, heritage and nothing else, not a foreign extraction or anything. So there aren't haven't been too many of those lately. Yeah, like since Ricky had how many have there been? You tell me. Not many really. Yeah, we had Carl Froch, but even he, I mean, he was like Polish. He's like part Polish, I think, and stuff like that. So anyway, yeah, I think unfortunately, I say Sonny may even win this fight. He can do it, I know, but probably he will not get it by the from the judges. Yeah, unfortunately, because if he doesn't win like 8 rounds or nine, something like that, it can either be a draw or like a bullshit split decision, majority decision for Rodriguez. But at the same time, Rodriguez, yeah, I mean, I don't know if Sonny has fought a real puncher ever before. Really, I mean, maybe once or twice, but probably not too many times. But I think we are seeing that he is able to, keep them off and take some of their better shots. And yeah, I don't know. Really, this is a pretty hard fight to pick. In terms of who should win based on the talent, Sonny also being slightly more, a little bit older, and a little bit more experienced in bigger fights and all that world championship fights. He should get the better of Rodriguez, but this is now a different game, than he is used to Sonny. So yeah, we'll see anyway. But I think most likely is that Rodriguez will probably take the victory. Either if it happens, if before the end, like if the fight gets stopped, it will not be like a knockout or anything. It will just be some kind of probably either some kind of injury, or maybe I don't know, maybe Sonny can like retire in the corner if he happens to take too many big blows in one round and stuff like that. But that will probably not happen until like the championship round. So yeah, I think probably it will go with distance. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, there you have it. I would like to say that I think Sonny Edwards will win, but yeah, at the same time, I'm not yet buying the hype behind, Jesse Van Rodriguez. Not quite until I see what happens in this fight. So yeah, I'm really anxiously awaiting to see this fight, see who will win, and I hope it will be a fair outcome, whatever it is. All right, take it easy. See you. Bye.